Yeah, so based on what I can gather, these ETFs could definitely be worth it if... Hey, what's up everyone? So a couple of days ago, I posted a video speaking about high interest savings accounts, or HISAs for short, where as interest rates have continued to rise over the past 18 months, well, so have the associated interest rates on your savings in most high interest savings accounts. So we saw in the last video that some companies were offering promotional interest rates as high as even 5 or 6% for a 5-month period, which is definitely a great rate, but a few people did bring up high interest saving ETFs to my attention once again in the comments as an alternative to opening up a brand new high interest savings account with a new company, for example, while still achieving high interest along the way. And this does come with some various different pros and cons to these HISA ETFs that we'll be covering in today's video. So drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. All right, so for those of you who aren't necessarily familiar with these high interest saving ETFs, well, you can think of these as regular exchange traded funds, right? ETFs for short, that we're all familiar with. So funds that trade on a stock exchange just like a stock, but instead of buying and holding, say, shares of a company or different bonds, well, these funds invest capital into high interest deposit bank accounts, high interest savings accounts essentially across different banks, right? So just like how a gold bullion ETF buys and holds gold bars on your behalf, well, these funds pool capital together from investors and invest that capital into high interest savings accounts on a large scale in order to collect interest payments from these bank deposits. So this then constitutes these as fixed income ETFs with a high interest rate at that, where even in contrast to high dividend yield ETFs that are invested in equity positions, this is a great competitor in the current environment, offering guaranteed interest over certain periods of time. It's really simple to understand, and one thing that's convenient about these ETFs is that if you already have a brokerage account, which you're most likely do if you watch this channel, well, you can easily just start buying and selling shares of these ETFs without having to open any new type of account. Now, the reason why these ETFs are surfacing in interest a lot more is that as benchmark interest rates have climbed over the past 18 months or so, these ETFs have become attractive to investors because their yields have greatly increased as well. Whereas over the past couple of years, when equity stocks were soaring, no one was, really interested in parking their capital at 0.05% interest, which is completely normal. Okay, now in Canada, there are a handful of different options available to investors for these high interest deposit ETFs, such as, for example, Horizon's Cash ETF and HSAV ETF, as well as Evolve's HISU ETF, just to name a few. But in all reality, they're pretty much all the same, with varying allocations to certain banks and different management fees differentiating the lot. So I'm not favoring one or another in today's video, but we will be looking at Horizon's high interest savings ETF, ticker Cash, in this video to give you an idea of how these ETFs are broken down, because it is very similar once again from ETF to ETF. But definitely take your time to research all of the different ETF options before making a decision for yourself. All right, so the goal of the Cash ETF is to maximize monthly income for unit holders while preserving capital and liquidity by investing, once again, primarily in high interest deposit accounts within various Canadian banks. And this is currently providing investors with a yield of 5.39% at the time of filming this video. Other ETFs are currently offering 5.69%, 5.5%, and so on. But where things start to differentiate slightly is with holding allocations and management fees. So with the Cash ETF, we're looking at a management expense ratio, or MER for short, of 0.11%. And this means $1.10 in management fees over the course of a year if you had $1,000 invested in this ETF. So not much at all. And then capital allocation is roughly 50% in National Bank's cash account, 30% in CIBC's cash account, and then 20% in Scotiabank's cash account, which is what provides the 5.39% average yield in this ETF. Now, it should be noted that unlike with, say, a GIC, where you're locking in your capital for a given period of time and then receiving an agreed upon interest rate, making it a true fixed income instrument, well, with an ETF like this one, the yield that you're receiving, it will fluctuate as these banks change the interest rates over time provided in their accounts, which is why we can see here that the 12 12-month trailing yield for the cash ETF is 4.4% and not the 5.39% that it's currently yielding. Additionally, unlike with actually keeping your funds in a high interest savings account yourself, well, your interest is not calculated on a daily basis with these ETFs, where even if you take your money out after say 22 days, let's say, you'd still earn interest for each of those days in a true high interest savings account if it's calculated daily, which most are. Instead, with these ETFs, the interest is distributed like a dividend, and usually this is on a quarterly schedule. So in the case of Horizon's cash ETF, if you did have $1,000 invested, you'd be looking at roughly $135 in income at the next quarterly distribution. And so it's actually for this reason that when looking at these ETFs charts, we can see all of these spikes and dips over time, right? Where the relative price point of each share always hovers around $50 a share, but then dips in the amount of the distribution right before the distribution actually takes place, which is also why when looking over the annualized performance of the ETF, the 1-year performance is basically the exact same as the 12-month trailing yield, because all of your return is from the distribution only, and underlying capital doesn't really fluctuate in value. So essentially, this just means that you're able to preserve capital while gaining some nice interest and maintaining high liquidity, because you can fully sell out of your position at any time. It should be noted though that as underlying interest rates do eventually start to recede down, well, so will returns for an ETF like this one. However, your underlying capital will not drop in value. It's just your returns that'll get impacted, at which time you could choose to withdraw your capital and just simply invest elsewhere. Finally, I did also want to mention that one advantage is that you can buy and hold these ETFs in a registered investment account like the TFSA. So any returns and interest can grow tax-free instead of having to pay tax on the interest that is earned in a regular high interest savings account in the first place. That's a huge plus that can definitely save, 5 to 10% in tax depending on your tax bracket. So in short, are high interest savings ETFs worth the fees? Well, I believe that they definitely could be, as fees on these ETFs range from the 0.1 to 0.18%, but in all reality, this is a small price to pay to access relatively high interest rates, virtually 100% liquidity, and little to no risk. Bottom line, if you're looking for a high interest fixed income position, I'd at the very least take some time to look into one of these high interest saving ETF options. One last little thing to note here is that many major banks such as RBC's Direct Investing, BMO InvestorLine, and even TD Direct Investing, they do not allow you to buy these ETFs within their brokerages. So if you are interested in investing into one of these ETFs yourself, you will have to do so through a brokerage such as Wealthsimple or Questrade. By the way, you can sign up to Wealthsimple, get $50 for free when you trade $150, as well as Questrade, same sort of deal, both of which you can find links to down below in this video's description and the pinned comment. And I'd also highly recommend you check out my full stock market investing course that is completely free on Skillshare using my link down below in the description. You'll get a couple months of free premium access, and you can watch the entire course for free. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe. See you in the next one.